Good morning. So it's Psalms 3 to 16 that are given to us for the chapel today. I don't think we won't have time to read and reflect upon all these Psalms. However, what I would like to share from the Psalms given to us today is trusting in God, which Joe shared with us already through intercession prayers. Trusting in God is probably one of the most dominant themes in 150 Psalms. Beginning with Psalm 3, the psalmist speaks of taking refuge in God in our time of trouble. In the face of hardship and difficulty, in the face of those who stand against her, the psalmist says she will still put her trust in the Lord. The next psalm talks about trusting in God in distress and in shame. When ashamed and when disturbed, the psalmist looks to God for help. And Psalm 6 again speaks of trusting God in times of physical and mental illness. When his fragile mind and body struggle against the severe illness, he seeks to God for healing. I could go on and on till Psalm 16 actually. I was going to stop here and move on to how the psalmists find God in their difficult and challenging moments. They somehow find God and find refuge in His steadfast love in those darkest moments, through their prayers and songs, through their cries for help, and through their desperation. Again, the realities do not seem to be easy ones. They do acknowledge and are very well aware of the hostile and harsh realities in which they often find themselves. Their faith and their trust in God is constantly being challenged due to shameful circumstances, or by being ridiculed by others, or feeling being belittled, or due to their physical illness, mental depression, anxiety, attacks from enemies, or accusing voices from within and outside. Yet, they find God by reminding themselves that God is the one in whom they put their trust. Despite challenging circumstances, hard to trust God moment. Psalm 6 says, I'm weary of my mourning. Every night I flood my bed with tears. I drench my couch with my weeping. My eyes waste away because of grief. And sometimes what we face and encounter seems way too much for us to bear. And sometimes there seems no point of trusting God in some circumstances, if it's not going to bring drastic change, or remove obstacles, or miraculously heal our physical or mental illness. So, what's the point of trusting God if things are not going to change soon? And I think here that what Michelle shared earlier with us seems really hopeful. I think she said, perhaps the fact that one can face this darkness is an answer in itself. I think she also said, trusting God is more like stubborn perseverance, a determined moving forward. That's so true. The psalmists are determined to remind themselves of God who is trustworthy through morning and evening prayers. They are determined to find God through congregational worship. By entering to God's holy temple, they remind themselves of God's graciousness and His unfailing love. By recalling their history, reading and reflecting upon their scripture, they remind themselves of God who hates the wicked, who protects the oppressed. Reminds of God who humbles the arrogant, but have mercy on those who put their trust in God. They seem to find every possible way to remember who God is. And the psalmist recall the past, their faithful encounter with God, reminding themselves of the memories when they gathered together to worship Him. And they call others for worship in times of troubles. So in the midst of all that, we now come to Psalm 8. In standing in awe of the vastness of the universe, and standing in awe of its creator. So now we have a moment to read Psalm 8 responsibly. So the bold print, we invite all of you to read together. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name throughout the universe. that you have gifted us with divine awareness.
You have crowned us with glory and honor.
You give us responsibility for the works of your hands.
You make us stewards of creation,
All sheep and oxen,
the beasts of the field,
the birds of the air,
the fish of the sea.
all these things you have put under our care.
O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name throughout the universe.
So now we come to Psalm 8, a beautiful psalm, corresponding the beginning and end with a refrain. O Lord our God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. This psalm draws an amazing picture of a human being encountering the Creator through his work, creation. I think all of us at some point in our life may have had a sacred moment or a God moment as we gaze upon the stars, sky, ocean and mountains or little insect. The moment that the finite is confronted with infinite. Our endless anxieties and questions are confronted with the peace and steadiness of the creation. Then we face the living reality of God, which encompasses the whole world. I remember that I felt like I was encountering the greatness of God when looking at the galaxy for the first time in my life. I wondered what God was like when looking at flowers with beautiful colors. Encountering the greatness of God leads us to see who we really are. And the psalmist rightly sees himself and asks, when I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what are we that you are mindful of us? What are we mortals that you care for us? God knows who we are, yet he crowns us with honor and glory, and shares his power and authority over his creation with us. He calls us partners of the works of his hand. And Psalm 8 strongly alludes to the creation accounts in Genesis 1, where God creates heaven and earth, and its climax, he creates a human community in his image, and gives us his power and authority to take care of his creation. So I wonder, the awe of the psalmist here is not only his smallness in front of the vastness of the creation and the Creator, but perhaps it's also his amazement upon God's outrageous trust in humanity. The psalmists are not so naive and ignorant in their understanding of who we are. We are not only small in this universe, but we are also not really trustworthy. In fact, Psalm 14 explicitly laments. It says, the fool says in his heart, there's no God. They are corrupt. They do abominable deeds. There's none who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven on the children of men, and to see if there are any who understand, who seeks after God. They have all turned aside. Together, they have become corrupt. There's none who does good, not even one. And the Apostle Paul later in Romans 3 recalls this psalm, speaking of human condition. He says, there's no one who is righteous, not even one. There's no one who has understanding. There's no one who seeks God. All have turned aside. Together, they have become worthless. So the psalmist is very well aware of who we are. And I think the psalmist perhaps is struck by God's audacious trust in humanity, that he entrusts us with his creation, sharing his power and authority with us. His sovereignty is manifested in his outrageous trust in us. So now we come back to our theme again, trust. One of the things that we might need to remind ourselves as we begin the semester, particularly when the tasks ahead of us seem rather overwhelming. Think of the essays, think of the works, or personal challenges, or anxieties over all these things seem to outweigh our strength to our trust in God. To remember that God's steadfast love will uphold us. His enabling and empowering grace and His outrageous trust in us will lead us to move on throughout the semester. So I wonder whether we can go one step further from thinking that trusting in God is like a stubborn perseverance and a determined moving forward, to thinking that trusting God is like remembering God's outrageous trust in us. He will sustain us when we do not seem to find any strength to stand. He will lead and guide us, even when we don't seem to find any strength to move forward. So I think it's time to put our trust in God, remembering whose name is majestic in all the earth.